4, 5, 6, 7. Clerk 8. All right, I'm going to call our board meeting to order. Would the clerk please call the roll? I should clarify, this is the August 13th, 2020 board meeting. It is 7:02 for the official start of the meeting. Would the clerk please call the roll?
She's muted.
And the clerk is muted.
Will the clerk please unmute herself?
That's better.
Okay. Trustee Gust.
Motion to unmute the clerk.
Do we hear Trustee Gust?
I
I see him. I don't hear him.
Lamp.
Oh,
see Trustee Gust's lamp. Is Trustee Gust present? Maybe Trustee Gust has got his microphone muted.
It doesn't look like it is.
Doesn't smell.
He may have his speaker muted.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we'll come back to him. Go ahead.
okay. Trustee Jensen.
Present.
Trustee Miller.
Present.
Trustee Addison.
Here.
Trustee Siddick.
Trustee Siddick is muted.
She's muted as well.
Okay. Trustee
Oh, I'm
Wells.
not muted.
Oh, she's
There
not
she
muted.
is.
Trustee
Okay.
Wells.
Oh, I'm not muted.
We got Trustee Siddick. Okay.
Trustee
Trustee-
Wells.
Here.
Oh, I see that. Okay. Then we have Attorney Ferrolo,
Here.
Mayor Hooker,
Here.
Clerk McDonald is present. Do we have
And
Trustee?
We have Trustee Addison in the peanut gallery here tonight.
And don't forget Liz, our favorite attorney.
I get it.
Trustee Gust, are you with us? Richard?
We see you. We can't. Oops.
All right.
Should I try calling him?
You could. He's clearly he's not hearing us.
He's there in his lamp.
In the meantime, Andrew is going to perform on the piano and the cello simultaneously
Good.
without unmuting himself
Piano.
wisely. So, Trustee Gust, can you hear us? Oh boy. Technical difficulties.
Now, is there a chance if I call his phone that I'll be
Bump him off the call.
bump him off of the?
Yeah, it could happen.
Well, we can't hear him now anyway. So
Is that a Christmas tree there, Mayor?
Well, I am so glad that you asked. While we're waiting to clarify that Trustee Gust is present, this is a Christmas tree that I just discovered here in the board chambers, and I thought, well, you know, 2020 is just strange enough
I wonder.
that I think this is fitting to have a Christmas tree on the dais. So
It's very festive. Yeah,
I plugged it in, and I'm glad you noticed it.
Do you guys think if I put my speakerphone on with Richard talking, will that work or will it cause feedback?
You may get feedback.
I'll
What
try it.
is he just not hearing
He
us?
can't get the sound. He can't hear us, and we can't hear him. Hello, Richard.
Yeah, I'll listen to you while you're talking.
Okay.
Well, that seems to be working. I'm holding my phone up to the microphone, so
Okay,
as long as it doesn't give feedback, we'll give it a shot.
sounds good. Let's try it, boss.
Okay. So, clerk, please note that Trustee Gust is present.
Okay.
All right. Now is the time for the Pledge of Allegiance. I would ask you all to rise and please recite the pledge with me. I pledge allegiance.
Flag of the United States of America
States of America.
and to the republic
And to the
for which it stands, one nation, under God,
and
indivisible, with
indivisible,
liberty and justice for all.
justice for all.
That works pretty well. He's got his own microphone there. so. Yeah. Richard, is it okay that you're at the wrong microphone? Do I need to move you over to your seat?
No, we're good. We're easy to get along with, buddy.
Okay.
All right. Next item of business we have before us tonight is approval of the Village Board regular meeting minutes of July 23rd of 2020. Meeting minutes are in your packet. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes as they are presented?
Nope.
We have a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second, Miller.
Motion by Trustee Jensen, second by Trustee Miller. Discussion? All right. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Gust,
Hold them up there, Mark.
Trustee Gust?
Aye.
There you go.
Trustee Jensen,
Aye.
Trustee Miller,
Aye.
Trustee Addison,
Aye.
Trustee Sittig,
Aye.
Trustee Wells.
Aye.
All right, motion carries. Technical point for council. On our published agenda, we neglected to actually complete the amount of the payables, bills presented for payment. We have the amount, it's just not published in the agenda. Is that an issue? Or is this what we would classify as a Scribner's error?
I would say it's more of a Scrivener's error, given the fact that the bill run summary has the total as well as the warrant list. So there's really no attempt to be other than transparent here. It's just that the fact that there's a Scrivener's error for the published agenda with the total number. But anybody that's interested in looking could easily have found the total. So it's my opinion that it's okay to move forward to approve the total shown in the bill run summary.
All right. Well, the correct amount that should be in the motion is the total of $376,435.50. Do we have a motion to that effect?
So moved.
A motion by Trustee Miller.
Second by Sittig, and I have that same amount.
Okay, second by Trustee Sittig. Any discussion on the bills? All right, there being none, would the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Jensen,
Aye.
Trustee Miller,
Aye.
Trustee Addison,
Aye.
Trustee Sittig,
Aye.
Trustee Wells,
Aye.
Trustee Gust.
Aye.
All right, motion carries. We have no special business on the agenda tonight. We have public comment now for any agenda items. Is there a member of the public that would wish to address any of the agenda items? If so, I would ask they would unmute and state their case. All right, there being none, we shall proceed to there. The mayor's report, of which I will say things are going as good as can be expected. Staff is healthy. Public Works is healthy. We have limited access to the Village Hall through appointments and through stopping at the front door and making a phone call if you need to make a payment or something to that effect. Staff has been very accommodating to that end, and looking forward to the day that we can get back to some sense of normalcy. And I'm really looking forward to shaking some hands one of these days too. So, I mean, how are you a mayor? You can't hug anybody, kiss any babies, or shake any hands. I mean, it's just not natural. So, and to that end, we'll move on to trustee reports. First up, we have Trustee Gust. Have you got anything for us tonight, sir?
Trustee Gust, do you have a report?
No report tonight, Your Honor, other than I wish we were going to have the nice big August Fest.
Yeah.
Other than that, nothing. Stay safe.
Okay. Thank you. This would be the weekend coming up for, or the next weekend, one of the two, for the
Well, I believe
Beach Park Fest.
it's another holiday the same weekend we usually do it, correct?
Yeah, well, it'd be an anniversary,
Your
or
anniversary.
something. Yeah.
So you should remember which weekend it is.
I will say that it's kind of a relief that I don't have to explain anything to my wife or make any hard decisions about that. So, moving on, Trustee Jensen.
Very little to report from here, Mayor, except that we have our monthly Finance Committee meeting next Wednesday, the 19th, 6 p.m. Virtually, of course. That's
All right.
it.
Thank you. Trustee Miller.
Yeah, just wanted to mention one thing. I think at our last board meeting, we were talking about the incident that happened in Lions Woods Forest Preserve. And since that time, I had a conversation with the Director of Public Safety, and I was personally reassured that they are going to be watching activities in Lions Woods more often. And I can just verify that today when we were in Lions Woods, there were 2 Forest Preserve guards in different parts of the path. So it does look like there is more diligence in patrolling that area. I haven't heard that they have found the perpetrator of that incident, but at least they did finally get some publicity out about it, and it seems like many more people became aware of the need to sort of be on guard after that. So that's all I have.
Good. Thank you so much. All right, Trustee Addison.
Nothing specific on Public Works other than we had our meeting Tuesday night. Things are going well. The MFT road resurfacing project is going well, and we're happy that the crews are doing a good job keeping everything going during these weird times. That's
All
it.
right. Thank you. Trustee Siddick. Trustee Siddick, did you have any report? Uh-oh.
Oh,
Yep,
can you hear me?
I can now.
Okay, yes, thank you. No report. I'll wait until we get to the American Inn on the next number 20 or number 10.
Okay, thank you. And Trustee Wells, any report for us tonight?
Just a little information for the general public, Your Honor. Those individuals that might be struggling with the rental payments or mortgage payments, staff did post on our village's website a emergency rental assistance program, I think, which pays up to $5,000 for those who qualify, and also a emergency mortgage assistance program, which pays up to $15,000 for those who qualify. And that information was posted by staff on the village website for those who might be in need of that.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, any report from our village administrator?
Nothing that hasn't already been said, Mr.
All
Mayor.
right. We have no items for a consent agenda tonight, so we'll move on to the aforementioned item 10. We have one resolution before us tonight. It is a request from the American Inn for a facade grant to have a new sign constructed in a different location on the property. A new sign is somewhat necessary, or at least the reason this comes up at this time, or for 2 reasons. Number one, this current sign is non-conforming, and at some point the owner would have to bring the sign into conformance. Second part is due to work on the Illinois Department of Transportation Shared Road right-of-way. They are going to be encroaching into the area where the foundation is for the sign with some improvements that IDOT is making. And so they are giving a reimbursement, or yeah, it's a reimbursement basically for temporary easement and some impacts, damages, et cetera, that structural issues that will be caused to the existing sign as it stands. They're offering up just shy of $10,000 to the owner of the American Inn. He is elected to apply to the village for a matching grant, if you will, for the facade grant program to replace the sign, utilizing the money from IDOT and a portion of the funds coming from the village as well. The TIF committee had a conversation on this. It was brought forward to the board with recommendation to pay half of the cost of the sign after the credit from IDOT. So the amount that's in the resolution is $6,421.35, of which he would be putting in a similar amount of money to match. So we would be contributing 50% of his cost after the IDOT money was included. So that's what's before us tonight. I would ask for a motion to approve a resolution authorizing facade grant for the American Inn.
So moved.
We have a motion by trustee Otterson,
Second, Miller.
second by trustee Miller. Discussion.
I had one question on that, and forgive me, I didn't look at the specifics of the program, the facade grant program, but am I correct in assuming that this grant is a reimbursement after the project is finished, but that's contingent on the proper permits being pulled and inspections and everything. So it has to be done completely on the up and up before we'll approve actual payout of this, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. It's after the fact.
All right. Thank you.
But that's not all of it,
Sorry?
correct? That's not all of that. In just my opinion, this just happens to be very convenient for this business. And just in my opinion, this is not a motel, it's an apartment complex. Loaded with sex offenders, and everybody knows the Lake County Sheriff's Office is very busy over there at that location with call after call after call. I don't know how a new sign on taxpayer money is going to help this business one way or the other. So I cannot support this one. I cannot support it. I'm sorry.
Okay. Other discussion?
Well, I have similar sentiment. I have no animus toward this particular business, but I do have a preference to invest TIF dollars in more durable improvements. For instance, the facade, we helped pay for the sign at Cracking Cakes, and that's sunk money. That's gone, and that doesn't benefit anybody going forward. Whereas if you put it into water and sewer, things of that nature, more capital improvements, those are durable. So I not for the same reason, but I have some misgivings about the idea of assisting a business like that.
Yeah, I too have, I have reservations that are going to prevent me from supporting this request. You know, I really would be more in favor of it were the owner giving us some kind of long-range plan. You know, I just haven't seen much effort put into the facade of this entire structure ever. A little paint here and there, but yeah, I would much rather put this kind of money towards a substantial project that our taxpayers would be much more proud of. And so for those reasons, I won't support it either.
All right.
Well, I understand all those feelings, but if that's the case, then I think we should take a long look at the program, because the way the program is currently structured, we've approved similar grants for businesses, for signage, for lighting, for paving, and for actual facades on buildings that are now in foreclosure. So all of that being said, if we're feeling strongly about specific things being included in this, then we should take a look at the program and maybe do a text amendment and make it a little more stringent in order to get it done. But the way it's written, it's frustrating, but I think since we've done the similar thing for other business owners, I think they deserve it. In this case, the precedent has been set. Not that precedence really means anything in this case, but in my mind it does.
Okay, we'll look at Cracking Cakes. That was that went south. I certainly know I cannot pass the red face test by approving this or saying yes to this by the taxpayers in Beach Park. So I am a no all day long.
Okay. Any other comments?
Well, I think Mark makes a good point about revisiting the whole concept of how the TIF money is invested, whether facade grants, lighting, whatnot, are in the best interest of the village long term. We might want to reconsider that and focus more on real capital improvements.
I agree. I think the facade grant program was in existence before we had TIF districts. and maybe it's run its course.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Any other discussion on the resolution at hand?
Mr. Mayor, I also agree with Mark's sentiments regarding the use of those funds for past other commercial operations. There's been several others that that come to mind. I see that area as an evolving and growing area. McDonald's has enhanced their facade in their facilities. We have Casey's coming up on the corner in the near future. The liquor store has made improvements on their property. So I think it's, again, it may not be what we want, but it's one step closer to the improvement and enhancement of the area that I think would better
Okay.
serve and beautify that area. And again, if we choose to continue with it, maybe we, again, as Mark indicated, maybe reassess the program. But at this time, I would have to support it just based on what we've past the projects that we've approved.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Anyone else? All right. Then I guess what we need to do is go ahead with a roll call on the resolution. Again, I'll restate the resolution. This is a resolution adopting facade grant for new sign at the American Inn. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Miller,
No.
Trustee Addison,
Aye.
Trustee Siddick,
No.
Trustee Wells,
Aye.
Trustee Gust,
Aye.
Trustee Jensen.
No.
All right, Mayor Hawker.
Mayor Hucker will vote aye. I will explain the reason for my vote, and I will go to the points that were raised by Trustee Addison, Trustee Wells. The precedent and the program is the requirements of the program as they're currently set up do allow for this as a type of facade grant improvement. We have a non-conforming sign there that will have to be corrected at some point. It would be a shame to see $10,000 more stuck into a new foundation for that exact sign and then have us trying to get the property owner to spend money that clearly doesn't have in order to improve the sign. So I will echo, though, Trustee Jensen's and Trustee Miller's comments about the facade grant program. This seems to be a point of consternation every time it comes up in whether we should or should not be funding private improvements with public dollars or with these type of public dollars. And I will go back a little bit in history and say that we used to do this out of the general fund prior to the TIF districts being in place. So now that we have the TIF districts, we're using TIF dollars as opposed to general fund dollars. And I had some tough swallows back when it was general fund dollars for the same reason. So I will ask that this be considered. We'll certainly want some input for the staff so that they can bring this forward. And I think it would be healthy to have this discussion maybe at a couple levels, maybe at finance and also at the TIF committee to get a couple of different perspectives on whether a program like this should exist at all. And if it should exist, then under what criteria we should be awarding grant monies, and if we need to tighten it up into being something more specific, like a facility, a facade upgrade on the building itself, or whether we're saying that we just don't want to have them at all. And I think more discussion, the better. These don't come up all that often. I'm not aware of any pending at this point. So on that note, I think it would be healthy to have that discussion going forward. So on that note, just to confirm with the attorney, we had a 4-3 vote, which was a majority. And this is awarding grant funds. Are there any special vote requirements before I declare this passed?
No, Your Honor, there are not.
All right. So I will declare this.
I'll save my comments for future meetings because I just think that this is something that never should have been put in place to begin with. I think this was something that Nick Narducci back in the day put in place. I remember the beach park.
It predated that era. And my recollection.
But I also remember when the Beach Park Animal Hospital wanted to put in a new parking lot and other businesses, and they were rejected. So I just don't think this is fair to the rest of the businesses. I've spoken my piece, and I am done.
Okay, thank you. Then we'll move on to unfinished business. We have no unfinished business tonight on the agenda. Is there any new business to come before the board? All right, there being none, are there any citizens that would wish to address the board on any topic? Again, I would remind you, please unmute yourself, give us your name and state your case. Okay, seeing none and hearing none, I will then.
Mayor, before we adjourn, may I have a moment?
Sure, absolutely.
Just on that last topic that we voted on, I wanted to point out, I noticed that they're using faux brick panels. I thought initially looking at the rendering that was going to be a brick pedestal. I sure hope that's durable and holds up, doesn't delaminate shortly after they put it up. So I don't know if we have any input on that, nature of that, but to what degree our community development.
At the building review stage, before the permit's issued, yeah, it'll have to be demonstrated to be a suitable material that meets the code.
Okay, thanks.
Absolutely.
Well, you know, I have one more question.
Sure.
I probably could have brought this up when the administrator was talking, but it slipped my mind. Mark, can you give us any update on the status of that Nationwide Electronics building that we heard from a resident about a month ago? I see it's still boarded up and it doesn't appear to be for sale. Do we know what's going on?
There's a couple of parallel issues associated with that building. One, as we discussed in closed session, that's still being addressed by the party that, you know, the board had requested that we talk to about that. And we're still waiting for a response back from them. But in the meantime, it is currently in adjudication. It was continued till next month, pending appearance by an attorney for the property owner. So.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you. I just thought it would be nice to get that out there for the residents that were inquiring. So.
Maybe they need a facade grant.
No, no.
Yeah.
They got one.
Here's how long it's going to take to clean up Sheridan Road.
Yeah, they already got one, right?
All right. We have no cause for an executive session tonight, and thus no potential action after the executive session.
Mayor, it would be my honor to offer a motion to adjourn.
We have a motion by Trustee Jensen to adjourn. Do we?
Second, Miller.
Second by Trustee Miller. Any discussion on that motion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Addison.
Aye.
Trustee Smith.
Aye.
Trustee Wells.
Aye.
Trustee Gust.
Aye.
Trustee Jensen.
Aye.
Trustee Miller.
Hi.
All right, thank you all. I swear, one of these days, we're going to be sitting back here, even if we have to be ensconced in saran wrap and plexiglass. But yeah, thank you all for your time and your patience, and we'll see you next time.
Night.
Good night.
Good night, Richard.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Everyone stay safe.